WhatsApp is putting an age limit on users. Instagram is about to let users download their content. And Facebook's now sending notifications about new privacy policies. All of this in the European Union. Wondering why? It's all part of the European Union Data Protection Regulation, the biggest intervention in online privacy ever. Its main purpose is to give users control over their data, letting them know what information is being stored and where and how it's being used. Users also have the right to be forgotten, which allows you to potentially have your data deleted. Meaning, if your high school photos are not of public interest, a controller, let's say Google, will have to erase them at your request. But not only that, the law forbids consent statements that are confusing. They now have to be clear and as easy to cancel as they are to accept. If a misuse of your data could put your rights and freedoms at risk, a data processor has to notify you within 72 hours without undue delay. In other words, if a company like Cambridge Analytica misuses your data and a company like Facebook is aware of it, you must be informed about it within 3 days. So you won't have to wait for a whistleblower and an international scandal to find out. The law also includes something called a subject access request, which means you can send an email to your boss asking for all the emails that refer to you, performance reviews, computer access logs, lists of phone calls to, from, or about you, even the CCTV footage, and all the other private data about you. And your employer needs to send it within 30 days. But what happens if a company breaks the law? Well, it would have to pay a fine of up to $24 million, or 4% of their annual income. Whichever is greater is paid. The data protection law was passed in April 2016 and is due to be enforced by the 25th of May 2018. But the assistant to the European Data Protection Supervisor says the EU doesn't want to do witch hunting.
On the other hand, you have to remember that when the complaints come to the Data Protection Office, the Data Protection Authority has to approach it with the whole toolbox that is given by the General Data Protection Regulation.
The biggest change the new law brings is that it would affect all companies from around the world dealing with data of users in the EU. But if you don't live in this part of the world, there's bad news. You don't get all this protection. Companies around the world aren't willing to offer the same rights, nor are other countries asking them to.
We are more and more surveilled, both by the state and by the other entities that exist on the market. We don't want to live neither in the world of the 1984 by Orwell, but also not the Brave New World by Huxley, where everybody is surveilling everybody.